Sometimes the loudest victories are born in silence. The world may not see your late nights, your quiet sacrifices, or the countless moments when you kept pushing forward while no one was watching. But one day, they will see your results. This is the essence of today's message. Never tell people what you do. Focus in silence and win in public. We live in a world where everyone is eager to announce their plans before they've even begun. People share their goals before they've taken the first step. They talk about the empires they will build before they've even laid the foundation. But those who truly rise, those who stand at the top of their fields, they understand something most people never do. Success is not built on noise, it's built on quiet work, consistent focus, and the courage to move forward without applause. There is power in silence. Silence protects your dreams from unnecessary opinions. It shields your focus from distractions. When you tell the world what you plan to do, you invite their doubts, their jealousy, and their resistance into your mental space. But when you keep your vision private, when you guard your plans like precious seeds, you allow them to grow in peace, strong, rooted, and ready to bloom. Think of the seed beneath the soil. It grows in darkness. It doesn't need validation or permission. It simply trusts the process, knowing that one day, when the time is right, it will break through the surface and show the world its beauty. That's how greatness is born, not through noise, but through nurturing patience and silent growth. The greatest minds in history work this way. Think of inventors, artists, and leaders who changed the world. They didn't spend their time convincing others. They were destined for greatness. They simply worked until their results made the announcement for them. Thomas Edison didn't talk about his experiments every day. He let the light bulb do the talking. Michael Jordan didn't need to tell people he was the best. His performance on the court said everything. Real power doesn't seek validation. It commands respect through results. When you choose silence, you choose focus. You eliminate the need to impress. You free yourself from the burden of outside opinions. The energy you once wasted explaining yourself to others now becomes fuel for execution. You no longer chase recognition, you chase mastery. And that's where transformation happens. In the quiet hours when no one is clapping for you, but you keep going anyway. There will be moments when the silence feels lonely. When you wonder if anyone notices the effort you're putting in, when the temptation to tell the world your plans becomes overwhelming. But remember, noise doesn't create progress. Action does. Keep your head down. Let your work mature in the shadows. Because when you finally emerge, the world won't ask what you're doing. They'll ask how you did it. In this journey, discipline is your greatest ally. Every distraction, every unnecessary conversation, every bit of time wasted explaining yourself to those who don't matter. It all pulls you away from your purpose. Protect your focus as if it were gold, because it is. Focus is the rare currency of success in a world addicted to attention. While others are scrolling, talking, and showing off, you'll be building brick by brick, quietly, relentlessly. You see, success doesn't come to those who announce their plans, it comes to those who execute them. You don't need to convince anyone that you're working hard. The results will prove it for you. The results will speak louder than any explanation ever could. So, let your actions become your voice. Let your achievements make the noise. And here's a truth many forget. Not everyone wants to see you win. Some smile at your goals, but secretly hope you fail. When you share your dreams too early, you give others the power to influence your energy. Some will plant seeds of doubt. Others will discourage you, not because you can't do it, but because they couldn't. Protect your vision from small minds. Keep your dreams sacred. Build in silence, and let your success expose every lie they believed about you. Every journey has seasons. The season of planting, the season of growing, and the season of harvest. Most people want to skip the first two and rush straight to the rewards, but the wise understand that the unseen seasons are where character is built. When no one's cheering, when no one's noticing, when no one's offering validation, that's when you grow the most. Because that's when you discover what you're truly made of. Imagine a mountain climber scaling the steep face of a cliff. No one's watching him climb. There's no crowd, no cameras, no applause. It's just him, the rock, and the climb. Every step is a test of endurance. Every movement requires balance, precision, and faith. And yet, when he finally reaches the top and raises his flag, the world looks up in awe. They see the victory, but they didn't see the silent struggle. That's what it means to win in public after focusing in silence. So, as you listen today, I want you to ask yourself, what dream have I been talking about more than working on? What project have I announced before it was ready to stand on its own? Maybe it's time to step back, to retreat from the noise, to protect your process. Because the truth is, not every masterpiece needs an audience while it's being painted. Some things need privacy to become powerful. Start moving differently. Stop explaining. Stop oversharing. Stop seeking approval. Replace words with action. Replace promises with performance. Replace dreams with deadlines. When you stop telling people what you do and start showing them what you've done, everything changes. You shift from being a talker to a doer, and the world respects doers. Let silence be your strategy. Let progress be your proof. Let success be your sound. Every time you feel the urge to announce your next move, pause. Ask yourself, do I want attention or do I want results? Because attention fades fast, but results last a lifetime. The ones who achieve greatness aren't the loudest. They're the most consistent. They don't talk about the grind, they live it. Remember, lions don't need to tell you they're lions. Their presence speaks for itself. Be that kind of person. Build so quietly that when people finally see what you've created, they're speechless. That's the power of silent focus. It transforms you from invisible to undeniable. So keep going. Work in the dark. Plan quietly. Move strategically. Believe fiercely. Because one day, the silence you endured will turn into the applause you deserve. And when that moment comes, when the world finally recognizes what you've built, you'll know it was worth it. Every hour, every sacrifice, every quiet night of work, it will all make sense. Don't chase validation, chase evolution. Don't seek to be noticed, seek to be remembered. The ones who make the biggest noise today will be forgotten tomorrow. But the ones who focus in silence, who build something real, they will echo for generations. Silence carries a rare power that few truly understand. In a world where everyone is speaking, posting, and sharing, silence becomes a language of strength. When you learn to protect the power of your silence, you stop explaining your every move, and you start moving with quiet certainty. You stop announcing your next step, and you begin taking it with conviction. Silence is not the absence of noise. It is the presence of discipline. It is the calm space where clarity is born and greatness is shaped long before the world ever notices. When you hold your plans close, you protect them from interference. Every idea, no matter how powerful, is fragile in its early form. Just like a seed cannot survive if exposed too soon, your dreams too need protection from the winds of doubt and the storms of opinion. The more you talk, the more you give away the energy that should be fueling your actions. But when you guard your silence, you create a sacred environment for growth. A place where your ideas can strengthen and expand without being interrupted by the noise of others. The truth is, most people talk to feel progress. They confuse expression with execution. They believe that by announcing their plans, they are somehow closer to achieving them. But every word you speak about your dreams takes a small piece of energy away from the work itself. Talking gives the illusion of progress, while silence demands action. When you choose silence, you're not avoiding the world. You're aligning yourself with purpose. You're saying, I don't need recognition right now, I need results. There's a special kind of confidence that grows in those who remain silent while working. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You know where you're going, even if no one else does. You know what you're building, even if others can't see it yet. Silence gives you control over your energy, your emotions, and your direction. It allows you to observe, to learn, and to act without distraction. You become more deliberate, more strategic, and more resilient. There will always be people who want to know your every move, not because they care, but because they're curious. Some want to measure your progress against theirs. Others simply want to insert doubt into your path. The moment you share your plans, you open the door for judgment, criticism, and unnecessary interference. But when you keep your silence, you keep your power. No one can sabotage what they don't know. No one can discourage what they can't see. Silence also builds mystery, and mystery builds respect. When people can't predict your next step, they pay attention when you finally take it. When they realize you've been working all along, the impact of your results multiplies. You didn't need to broadcast your journey because your progress speaks for itself. And in a world obsessed with noise, that quiet confidence commands attention without a single word. The power of silence is not about secrecy, it's about self-mastery. It's about knowing when to speak and when to act. It's understanding that the most profound transformations often happen in solitude. While others chase validation, you chase evolution. You learn to value peace over publicity, focus over fame, and purpose over praise. Protect your silence, because inside it lies your true strength. The strength to create, to endure, and to rise without needing the world's permission. There is a quiet power in letting your work speak for itself. When your actions become your voice, you no longer need to persuade anyone of your worth. You don't need to convince, argue, or explain. You simply produce results so undeniable that words become unnecessary. Every great achiever understands this truth. Talk can inspire briefly, but results inspire permanently. People may forget what you promised, but they will never forget what you proved. The world listens differently when results are doing the talking. There's a certain gravity that surrounds someone whose actions align with excellence. You feel it when you meet people who don't waste energy explaining their plans. They just execute. Their confidence is quiet, but their impact is loud. Every move they make is deliberate, every outcome intentional. They don't chase attention. Attention naturally finds them because of the quality of what they create. Talking about goals is easy, delivering on them is rare. Many people spend more time announcing what they will do than actually doing it. They want applause before achievement, recognition before results. But those who truly rise above understand that the applause is empty without the performance. They channel their time, energy, and emotion into the craft itself, refining, perfecting, and producing until the work can stand on its own. Words can make promises, but effort fulfills them. Letting your work speak is also a form of integrity. It means your actions reflect your commitment. It means you value progress more than perception. When you deliver consistently, people begin to trust not what you say, but who you are. They learn that your silence isn't avoidance, it's focus. They realize that your calm isn't complacency, it's control. Over time, your reputation becomes a reflection of your results, not your rhetoric. This mindset separates the extraordinary from the average. Average effort needs explanation, excellence doesn't. Excellence communicates on its own. It tells your story, it builds your credibility, and it earns you the respect of others without you ever having to ask for it. The truth is, when you dedicate yourself to mastery, the right people will notice, not because you told them to, but because they can't ignore what you've built. Letting your work speak is also liberating. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of validation. You no longer perform for approval or depend on the opinions of others to keep going. Your motivation becomes internal, driven by purpose, not praise. You learn to appreciate the process more than the recognition. You start measuring success not by how many people notice you, but by how much you've grown. And that quiet satisfaction becomes your fuel to keep improving. Every great achievement is born in this mindset. The athlete who trains in silence, the artist who perfects every detail before revealing the masterpiece, the entrepreneur who builds quietly until the world takes notice. These people don't need to tell you they're working. You can feel it when you see what they've accomplished. Their work speaks not just of skill, but of patience, discipline, and unwavering dedication. So, choose to let your actions do the talking. Create so much value that you can't be ignored. Build something so authentic, so refined, that it becomes your voice. Because in the end, people remember the results, not the promises. The speech fades, but the impact remains. When your work speaks louder than your words, the world listens. Not because you demanded attention, but because you earned it. Focus is the unseen advantage that separates those who dream from those who achieve. In a world where distraction has become a way of life, focus is the new form of strength. It's not just about working harder, it's about working deeper, with full awareness and intention. Focus is the quiet engine behind every success story, the invisible thread connecting persistence, progress, and purpose. When you learn to protect your focus, you take control of your direction, your destiny, and your energy. Every time you give your attention to something that doesn't serve your vision, you drain the very power that could be building your future. Focus is energy, and energy is finite. You can't pour it everywhere and expect extraordinary results. That's why successful people guard their attention as if it were treasure. They understand that every moment of distraction is a step away from mastery. They know that the mind is like a lens. Whatever it concentrates on, it magnifies. So they aim it carefully, not at noise but at growth. Focus demands sacrifice. It requires saying no to good opportunities so you can pursue great ones. It means resisting the urge to scroll endlessly, to compare your progress, or to prove your worth. Focus requires maturity, the understanding that you can't be everywhere, know everything, or please everyone. You can only choose where to direct your time, and that choice determines everything. Every hour spent unfocused is a seed of regret. Every hour spent in deep, undisturbed concentration is an investment in excellence. Distractions often disguise themselves as importance. They come in the form of constant notifications, unnecessary conversations, and the pressure to keep up with everyone else's pace. But focus allows you to rise above that noise. It trains you to value progress over popularity, consistency over chaos, and depth over speed. When you focus, you stop reacting to life. You start creating it. You begin to notice how much power you've been giving away to trivial things, and you take it back. That's when momentum builds. Focus also sharpens awareness. It helps you notice the subtle patterns, the small wins, the mistakes, the lessons. It transforms ordinary effort into purposeful progress. You become more efficient, more confident, and more intentional. What once took hours of scattered work now takes minutes of clarity. You stop being busy and start being effective. And the more you experience this sense of control, the less tempted you are to waste your attention on distractions. True focus feels peaceful. It's not frantic or pressured. It's calm and commanding. It's the kind of presence that comes when you're fully engaged in what matters most. When you're focused, time slows down. The noise fades. The work feels meaningful. You enter a state where progress becomes effortless because your entire being is aligned with one direction. That state is where greatness is born. Not in chaos, but in calm concentration. The ability to focus is not something you find, it's something you build. It's a discipline developed through daily choices. Choosing structure over impulse, purpose over pleasure, direction over distraction. The more you practice focus, the more powerful it becomes. It's the quiet force that amplifies your potential, turning intention into impact. And when you master it, you no longer chase success. You attract it because focus turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Every masterpiece begins in the dark. The greatest creations, the most powerful transformations, and the deepest breakthroughs rarely happen under bright lights. They happen quietly, in long hours of unseen effort, in moments of doubt and persistence, in the silence where no one is clapping. Building in the dark means committing to growth, even when no one notices. It means embracing obscurity as a necessary part of becoming exceptional. When you build in the dark, you give yourself permission to evolve without pressure and to fail without judgment. You create space to perfect your craft before the world ever sees it. There is something sacred about the unseen stages of progress. The athlete training before dawn, the artist sketching late into the night, the entrepreneur refining every detail of a vision. These moments define success far more than any public recognition ever will. In darkness, there are no distractions, no comparisons, no noise. There is only you and the work. It's a quiet, almost sacred space where you learn what you're capable of, where you face your limits and push past them without needing an audience to validate the effort. Many people fear the dark stage because it feels lonely. They crave acknowledgement too early, needing others to see their progress before it's ready. But real growth doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in solitude. The dark allows you to make mistakes freely, to adjust, to experiment, and to evolve without scrutiny. It's where you build confidence from competence, not compliments. When the world isn't watching, your only competition is yesterday's version of yourself. And that's where true development begins. Building in silence also teaches patience. The process of creating something meaningful is never instant. You have to allow your foundation to set before adding weight to it. You have to strengthen your skills before testing them in front of the world. Rushing for visibility often leads to fragility, but steady progress in the shadows creates unshakable strength. When you finally emerge into the light, you don't just appear. You arrive, prepared and powerful. People see the success, but not the seasons of silence that built it. And that's exactly how it should be. There's an undeniable beauty in the moment you step into the light. After a long period of private work, you carry the calm confidence of someone who earned it. You no longer need validation because your results speak clearly. You've done the hard work when no one believed in you, and now your progress shines with authenticity. You don't owe explanations. Your excellence becomes your proof. And the same people who overlooked you will now wonder how you achieved so much, not realizing that your quiet persistence was the answer all along. Building in the dark is not hiding. It's preparing. It's trusting that the right time will come when your effort, discipline, and vision align. It's the understanding that growth requires privacy before it demands praise. When you work unseen, you develop strength that the spotlight can't shake. And when that moment finally arrives, when the world sees what you've built, it won't be luck they're witnessing. It will be the power of everything you created in silence, ready at last to shine. Not everyone will understand your vision, and that truth can be difficult to accept. When you have a dream that stretches beyond the limits of ordinary thinking, it naturally confuses those who see the world only as it is, not as it could be. Protecting your vision means accepting that some people will misunderstand your purpose, question your motives, or dismiss your goals. And that's fine. Your dream wasn't given to them. It was entrusted to you. Your responsibility is not to convince others to believe in it. It's to nurture it until it becomes undeniable. The moment you begin sharing your vision with the wrong people, you invite opinions that can weaken your conviction. Doubt is contagious. Even one careless comment can plant hesitation in your mind, turning certainty into confusion. Protecting your vision isn't about secrecy, it's about stewardship. It's about knowing that the seed of your dream must be planted in fertile soil, not scattered across rocky ground. You can't let everyone have access to your plans, because not everyone will handle them with care. Some people will support you, but others will project their limitations onto your path, telling you what's impossible simply because they couldn't do it themselves. The more ambitious your vision, the more it threatens those who have settled for less. It reminds them of what they once wanted, but gave up on. And instead of cheering for you, they'll try to bring you back to their level of comfort. That's why protecting your vision often means walking alone for a while. It means distancing yourself from small-minded influences and surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to grow, not shrink. True supporters don't need to understand every detail of your plan. They just need to see your dedication and trust your direction. When you protect your vision, you create mental clarity. You stop wasting energy explaining your dreams to those who can't see them. You stop defending your purpose to those who don't share it. Instead, you redirect that energy toward progress. You keep your head down, your focus sharp, and your goals sacred. This quiet protection allows your vision to mature naturally. It evolves without interference, shaped by your faith, discipline, and consistency, not by other people's expectations. Every great achiever learned this lesson early. Innovators, creators, and leaders all faced disbelief before they found recognition. They were told their ideas were unrealistic, unnecessary, or foolish, until those same ideas changed the world. They protected their vision long enough for results to speak louder than opinions. And that is what you must do. Keep building, even when no one understands what you're building for. The power of your vision depends on how fiercely you protect it. Guard it against negativity, against comparison, against premature exposure. Don't let small thinkers define the limits of your potential. When the time comes, your success will make sense to everyone. But until then, let it remain your private fire. The world doesn't need to see your every step. It only needs to see the destination when you arrive. Protect your vision with discipline, nurture it with silence, and one day it will reward you with a reality that once existed only in your imagination. There is something deeply powerful about achieving quietly. The kind of victory that doesn't need to be announced, because the evidence speaks louder than any words could. Winning quietly is not about hiding your success. It's about honoring the process that built it. It's about recognizing that true achievement doesn't need validation. It needs fulfillment. When you win quietly, you preserve your peace while still earning your pride. You move with grace, knowing that your results are speaking for you, echoing through every action you took in silence. The world is full of noise. People chase recognition, approval, and constant acknowledgement. They post their progress, their plans, their every move, desperate to be seen. But attention is temporary, while mastery is eternal. When you work for applause, your motivation dies when the clapping stops. But when you work for purpose, your drive becomes unshakable. Winning quietly means building something real, something that doesn't crumble when the lights go out. It's about creating results so authentic that even in silence, they can't be ignored. There's a peace that comes with silent victory. It's the calm after years of effort that no one else witnessed. It's the private satisfaction of knowing that you kept going when no one believed in you, that you overcame every obstacle without needing to broadcast your struggle. You didn't seek sympathy, and you didn't chase validation. You simply stayed the course. And when success finally arrived, it didn't feel like a surprise. It felt like a promise kept. Winning quietly also commands a different kind of respect. It's the respect that comes from mystery, from discipline, from results that appear sudden to others, but were years in the making. People will look at your success and call it luck. They won't see the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the lonely decisions. But you'll know, and that's what makes it powerful. The silent truth that your growth was earned, not given. You don't need to prove it. The outcome proves it for you. Quiet winners understand that success is not about outshining others. It's about outgrowing who you used to be. It's about transformation, not attention. When you win quietly, you become untouchable. Because your motivation doesn't rely on praise, and your progress doesn't stop when the spotlight fades. You become someone who thrives on inner validation, who knows that the real reward isn't in being seen, but in becoming everything you said you would be. And then, without warning, the world takes notice. People start to see the results of your silent effort. They wonder how you did it, when you did it, what your secret was. But there is no secret, only consistency, focus, and a refusal to quit when no one was watching. That's the beauty of winning quietly. The noise comes later, not from your words, but from your impact. Your success becomes the story, your work becomes the proof, and your silence becomes the sound of mastery. And so, as we close this message from Audiobook Zone1, remember this: you don't need to tell the world what you're doing. Just do it. Because when you focus in silence and win in public, your success will become your voice, and it will speak louder than you ever could. This is Audiobook Zone1, reminding you that true strength is quiet, true progress is patient, and true success speaks for itself.